Hi guys, welcome to my first running vlog. I'm on my way to Stellenbosch now to go join the boys in the team to go and do a recovery run, which is your zone 2 type of effort. I'm now currently building up for my marathon, with also a 10-kilometer race that I'm going to run in the next 4 to 5 weeks. I think the fitness is getting there. I've been building strong. I've been doing strong stuff in terms of building fitness, but with my ultimate goal obviously to prepare for the marathon. And as you can see, the drip, I'm wearing Adidas today. I'm also wearing the Adidas training shoes, and yeah, so I'm gonna have a great time with the boys. I know they always bring the vibe. They always bring a very good vibe. So before we hit the road, there's no way that you cannot smell nice on the run. So I'm just going to use some perfume and to make sure that I smell nice, because yeah, that is just a good thing. I know with runners we're sweating a lot and some smells is coming out, but I'm securing my smell, and I'm not gonna say what perfume I'm using. Don't want people to judge me, and I also don't want to give the brand the mileage because they're not paying me for it. So yeah, I'm paying it myself, but let me spray some. Okay, there we go. Okay guys, so the 30-minute drive is going to start now. So I'm gonna head from Cape Town, or I'm going to drive from Cape Town to Stellenbosch now, and that is going to take me about 30 minutes of driving. It can be less if I'm going to speed. Normally when I'm on my own, I am speeding when I'm on my own. But when I have my wife and my child in the car, then I'm not allowed to speed because they will remind me often. But yeah, so the drive is maximum 30-minute drive. But if I am speeding and going based on my speed, I'll be there between 20 minutes and 25 minutes. Okay, so yeah, some background about me. So yeah, I'm Anthony Timotheus. For those of you that is already following my YouTube channel, you guys saw in the description what I am about. So I create running content because I'm an athlete. I'm creating coaching content because I'm also a coach, and then I'm a dad, of course, and then I'm also into plants, and then I love my dog. And I think that is my content that I'm creating, and that is the story behind my name. And my name is on YouTube is Dad Athlete Paws and Plants, and that is basically describing everything that I'm currently doing on this YouTube channel. So yeah, that is just a little background about myself and my running goals. I have this crazy running goal. I want to represent South Africa at the 2028 Olympic Games, either in the marathon or the 10,000 meters. And yeah, I think that goal is possible, especially over the next 3 years, and especially that for the fact that it is long term. But if it is something that I want to achieve within the year, I think I need to work quite harder. But I have myself some medium-term goals that I also would like to achieve. And my medium-term goal is obviously to run the 10,000 meters or 10K on the road under 28 minutes. With my current personal best being 28-29 on the 10K, which I think is fast, especially with the kind of training that I'm doing or that I did previously. And my 10,000 meter on the track is 28:35, and yeah, that race also have its own experience, but I think my time is quite decent, and I will be able to Yeah, I can better those times definitely, especially with what I've learned, with the knowledge that I've gained throughout this process, especially the past 2 years. I just want to give you guys a testimony. So I was literally on the verge last year in 2024 of giving up and quitting athletics and road running, and my wife, now I have a very supportive wife. My wife supports me in my running career. She supports me in life. She supports me. Yeah, support is just next level. That is why she's my wife. And this one time when I literally lost all of my how can I say, my desire to run, that desire to wake up in the morning, that desire to run later in the evening, or even the seasons, or even attending races. So I totally lost that. And then one day became 2 days, and 2 days became 1 week. 1 week became 3 weeks, and 3 weeks at the end of the day became 6 weeks. So that is now almost a whole month of me not having that desire to go and train. And I only later found out that what I went through was actually overtraining in a sense, and burnout, because I've been running all my life. I've been running since I was 10 years old. I started running. I didn't train professionally. I trained like 3 times, 4 times a week, and then I would do school cross country races, especially on a Saturday and on a Friday. And then throughout my high school years, it was also just running on a Wednesday, racing on a Wednesday, racing on a Saturday, and also training 6 days a week, and with a few days of doubling, maybe 2 or 3 days. And when I got to university, the same thing happened. And I was just this guy that wanted to become the best. I was the best regionally. I was also among the best nationally. I also got to one point in 2022 where I was the fastest 10K athlete in one race where most of the South African guys competed at one of the ABSA series races in Cape Town. Well-known athlete Daniel Ibinho won that race, and I was the first South African to cross the line. I came 5th overall, and that was quite an achievement for me, because the guys that were behind me were Olympians, and that gave me an indication as to where my potential is in athletics. But then I got injured. I got an injury that I thought was career threatening. I got an injury that made me felt like there was like a thorn in my flesh, because I didn't wanted to get better, and that is a hamstring injury. And for those of you guys that know very well about sports, once you injure your hamstring, then your biomechanics is not going to be as fluent as it should be, and I think that is exactly what I struggled with. Now I am a very strong athlete, strong built athlete, and I am very, very dependent on my biomechanics. If my biomechanics is not fluent, and then I'm not going to be able to give my best on the day. And I think most of the athletes is like that, but that is just me in general. So I was running with this injury, and in fact I managed to run two of my best 5,000 meter races with that injury. I can remember running 13:35 for the first time over the 5,000 meters, and at that point I was also the fastest athlete within South Africa, besides Adrian Wilskut, a well-known South African runner that basically holds all the South African records of South Africa, but he's based in America. But that time we were running in South Africa, he wasn't running in South Africa, so I can say that I was the fastest in the country that time. Didn't run against him at all, but only against the guys that was in South Africa. And the year after that, the first one was 13:36, and then the second one was 13:35, and both of those 5,000 meter races I ran with that niggle, my hamstring niggle. I literally had to adjust my speed over the last 400 meters. If I had to go a little bit faster, I was literally going to pull my hamstring, and that is why I said previously that hamstring injury felt like a thorn in my flesh. It felt like something that kept me behind, something that couldn't allow me to run fluent, and that couldn't allow me to run with my fluent biomechanics. And it happened that it lasted for race after race, race after race, race after race. And I think that is when I reached a point of, why continue if I can't run fluent? Yes, I'm still winning races regionally, but that is not the goal. The goal is for me to be consistent in running good times and placing myself very well at national, and also to chase some international opportunities. And that it didn't happen for me at all. And that is how I kind of lost some motivation, and that is how I just stopped. And yeah, I didn't continue. But to come back, and then my wife one day asked me, when are we going to wake up again 4 a.m. in the morning to get ready for a road race? And then I was like, wow. I know, with female and women, they like to sleep, especially early in the morning. You shouldn't bother them like very early in the morning. And I wouldn't say that I thought that it was a burden for her to wake up with me, but for her to ask me that kind of question, knowing that it is the early mornings that she missed, and that is basically what she missed, and that gave me so much hope. It struck me right through my core, and I just started running again. I started out as a social runner. I called myself in the beginning a social runner. I would drive out and go I'll drive out and go do my runs at Kings Bay, Sea Point here in Cape Town. Very nice place to run, and just enjoying the views. I started meeting up with guys, running with them, and then when I found myself, I did my first training session. It went according to plan, and I just got into that routine again, and I got into the flow. I started liking the running again. Running wasn't that burden again. Running wasn't that burden anymore, and I started continuing. And I can remember I was at the point where I started coaching myself, and I spoke to one of my mentors at work, and I told him that if I can coach myself from 0 to 100, and at that point I was a 30-minute runner over 10Ks, and I told my mentor, if I can manage to get myself to running 28 minutes, anything 28 over 10,000 meters or in any 10K, then I will coach myself until I get to a point where I feel like I need some more guidance. And I started writing my own programs, my own training programs. I read up a lot. I read a lot, and yeah, things just came to a point where I started enjoying running. I wrote my own training programs, and my body responded very well to the training that I did. I can remember for 10 weeks, that was my most consistent 10 weeks ever that I could hit like peak mileage. And after that 10 weeks, just 3 weeks after that solid build, I went to go run my 3,000 meters in Stellenbosch at the grand opening of the Stellenbosch Athletics Streak at Stellenbosch High School, where I'm currently working. And I can remember I entered myself for the 3,000 meters, and knowing that I don't have anything to lose, I can remember the guys that was entered in the 3,000 meters. They were hoping, or they asked for a pace of 7:40, and I was like, I'm gonna go with the guys, and I'm just going to run. I'm not gonna fear anything. And at the time, my personal best was 7:59 over the 3,000 meters. And I just went for it. And remember, this is me writing my own training program. This is me trying to redeem myself. This is me trying to run competitive again. And I can remember the gun went down. I went with the leaders for the first 400 meters. I felt super smooth. I went for them up until 600 to 800 meters, and then I got to a point where I said to myself, no, I need to slow down a little bit here. And I can remember the pacing lights. There was a pacing light for 7:40, and then there was a white pacing light that was for 8 minutes on the dot over 3,000 meters. And I'm running fluent. I'm feeling very good. And it came, I was the whole time ahead of the white pacing lights. And then with 1,000 meters to go, the pacing lights caught up with me. And then I can remember, but this white pacing lights is actually on sub 8 minutes over 3,000 meters. And then I said to myself, but okay, I need to go with this thing. And remember, guys, I didn't do any VO2 max work. I didn't do any work in any specific work that will get me race ready for the 3,000 meters. I just started cutting down with my training slightly, because I mean, I came, that was about 2 weeks out of my massive build, and I managed to run 7:59. And after that 7:59, that was my turning point. That is when I decided I'm going to take running serious again. I'm going to give myself a shot, because now I ran very close to my personal best, split seconds close to my personal best time. And yeah, now I'm just believing. Now I just want more out of running. Now I have this big goal, this crazy goal of representing South Africa at the Olympic Games. And that only came when I started enjoying running. That only came when running wasn't a burden anymore. That only came when I started loving running. That only came when I respected running. And that came, of course, with wisdom. And sometimes in life we need to listen to our body. Sometimes in life we will go through certain processes. We will face that ups, and we will face those downs. But it's how you recover from the downs. And I think I recovered well from my down. I'm now at the point again where I love running. I'm now at the point again where I can believe and trust that I can get more out of running. And I got my first sponsorship from Adidas. And this happened after my redemption. This came after when I thought I truly deserved it, especially with my performances in 2022. Yeah, so that is my journey. This video was meant to be a vlog of me running with my boys, and this is where we're at. I just said my whole journey with you guys. I just said how I was literally hit with rock bottom, and how I is on top of the world again, on top of my world. And I think self-belief is very important. I do have that self-belief now. I do believe in myself. I do believe in my abilities, and I think that is the most important thing. Because if you're not going to believe in your own abilities, then there's no way that you will make a success of this road, on this road, a success of your story. And remember, everyone's story is unique. You have a unique story. I have a unique story. I remember guys that didn't come to this point. Let me just, yeah. So I came to a point where I started loving athletics and running again. And I just trust the process now. I just trust that things will work out in my favor. I just trust that things will work for good for me. I just trust that I will achieve all those goals that 13-year-old Anthony Timotheus had. And I already achieved most of my goals, or all of my major goals, just before 30 years old. And I think that set me up very well to chase this crazy goal of achieving or of going to the 2028 Olympic Games. Guys, I don't know how to feel. I don't want to get emotional about this, but my journey, it was very tough. I overcame a lot of things. Everything wasn't fluent. If things is not fluent on your side, just remember that there is a God. Just remember that there is someone that is writing your script, and your script can only be lived out according to your will, because we all got a free will from God. And if you're not gonna choose to align your will with the will of God, and then I think we will miss out. We will miss out on what we're truly going to achieve in this world. And I believe that running is my gift. I believe that running is my talent. And for me to have given up on running for that 6 weeks was very daunting. It wasn't easy. It was really daunting, because I was fighting with myself and questioning myself, asking myself, but where is that desire? Because I was aware of that desire that wasn't there anymore. But yeah, I'm here again. I can run now. I can run needle free, and now I'm a dreamer. Everyone is built different. Your story is different. Stick to your story, stick to your storyline, and you will achieve your goals. And I think I can inspire myself with that line. I'll stick to my story, I'll stick to my journey, and I will continue believing in my journey and in my story and in my own abilities. So yeah, guys, that is the drive. I think this drive did me very well, because I could share my journey with you guys. I hope that whoever is watching this, whoever is going to watch it, you will be God sent to watch this. And I believe that my story will make an impact, and my story will change your mindset towards your goals and your dreams. You might not be a runner, you might not be an elite runner, you might not be a 28-minute runner, or you might not be you might not be the fastest, but I really hope that my story can touch you, because that is my life. My life is about, I want to inspire people. I want people to do good. I want people to, in fact, to do better than what I do. And that is how I feel we should live our life. And if I can touch someone now, then I'm very happy. So yeah, I am 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, 5 minutes away from the school. So I will continue with the vlog when I get to the school. Okay guys, so I am approaching the school, and this is the real reason why I made a vlog, but then I found myself sharing a whole journey. For those of you guys that are still here, this is actually why I am shooting the video. I am going to join my boys today the long run, and I'm gonna do my recovery run, because how long the long run and my recovery run is meeting one another. And yeah, this is the school. Gaat af is er die van die pad afgereden.
Ja, coach.
Alleen op die pad, dan maak je en links heb je Kies? Ja, ik heb die laatste 2 keer heb ik 43 gehad. Hi guys, so I just finished the training session now with the guys. There was a slight change of plan. The head coach asked the boys to do an aerobic run instead of a long run. The weather was also not so great, but it was also good to be like that little child playing in the rain again. But yeah, so what we did was, or the kids did, a 7.5 kilometer aerobic run, which is your zone 3 run. That I feel that is neglected. A lot of people don't talk about it. People would rather talk about zone 2 and how important that is, and then touch on threshold training, tempo, and aerobic training. But zone 3 training, it's very important. I think that is in fact that is a sweet spot. The only thing about it is you can't do it every day like your zone 2 type of training, zone 1. But zone 3 is something that you really need to spend time with, especially if you want to develop your aerobic capacity and also the engine that they call. So yeah, so I did that today, and I think it was a session well done. It is my 3rd week in my marathon block, and I'm also 4-5 weeks out before my next 10-kilometer race in Durban. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, thank you for following my channel, and if you have any questions around training, you can definitely hit me up in the comment section. Like and share if you want to share it with other people, if you are touched by my story, if you are touched by my training, if you find my training method beneficial, then yeah, then this is the place where you can learn more. This is right in the beginning of my journey of vlogging. This is right in the beginning of me putting my wisdom out there. So yeah, thank you guys. If you are still here, thank you very much. I really appreciate your support, and I really appreciate your time. Right now, as I told you guys right in the beginning, for me a drive from Bellville from Cape Town to Stellenbosch is about 30 minutes, and right now I am going to drive 30 minutes from Stellenbosch to Cape Town, so it's gonna be a long one. Luckily I don't have to vlog. Luckily I don't have to put it out there and show you guys or add or talk about another story. I think I'm just gonna relax and then just reflect on today's season and the week ahead. Once again, thank you very much. Stay tuned. See you guys, not later, next time.